In this quick video, I will show you how we can modify this drying pad better. Maybe use this a little bit as an inspiration. So we can go into edit mode, and I go into wireframe mode, press 1 to go to the side. And in case something is selected, I went to point mode and then with B and draw a selection for this and move this up. Very good. And how much? So 1.3 centimeters. That's actually a lot. So let's go 1 centimeter. That's fine. And then we will also apply the scale. Good. So now the whole thing is rotated, which makes it a little bit more complicated. So we just remove this. Then in edit mode, I'm going to do this. I will select the top face. Then I press I to inset a face. That's kind of like our bevel. And then I do another I inset. Zoom in a little bit, press Alt, click maybe on this edge, press E and then Z, and simply along the Z axis drag it down. So hold on, I said E and Z. So E, actually we just drag it down, and in case you don't see the Z, then it's G and Z, obviously. Very good. Okay, good. The shading will look a little bit funny, so we'll go to the mesh data and turn on auto smooth. There we are, very nice. And we could, if we want to, click this edge, Control B, and round this a little bit. Let's say like this. Okay, nice. So with this, for example, we have a small containment where the dripping water could be caught. But now I would like to cut in some grooves. So Shift A, make myself a cube. Oh, that cube was added not where I want it to be. So I can select my object, Shift S, cursor to selected, or in edit mode, I select this top face. This one, yeah, Shift S, cursor to selected. Very good. And then Shift A in object mode. Again, so I exited the edit mode. Make a cube, press tab to go into edit mode, scale it down. This is really important. Now I do this in edit mode. Then I look from here, scale in object mode. Let's say, yeah, 1 centimeter width. This is fine. And let's apply this. Good. And in edit mode, S and Y, and I drag this one out till it terminates somewhere inside this gap. So it shouldn't go further. So with S and Y, we just adjust this. Very good. Okay, so then let's go to the modifier. We will add an array modifier. Add a little bit of a distance, add more steps. My case maybe 8, and then I want to do the same on the other side, so I add a mirror modifier. And here's the trick now. I need to move this one so you see till kind of like I have the same gap there. Very good. Okay, that's very nice. I go into shaded mode, select the lower face, and SNX, scale it in my case so it is slightly tapered. I also make sure that this object, it does not intersect on the bottom part. So in object mode, G and Z, I just move this one up. Okay, very good. And if we want, for example, to have a flow direction for the water, we could even do the following. I add in edit mode a loop cut at the center, just one, and then I select that lower edge and then move this one up. That will actually slant the surface. This I will use to cut. So first I will set this object to wire, and then I select my pad, go to modifier, Boolean difference, select, no, not the plane. Maybe from here, this is easier to select. Cube there. Cool. I can just select maybe these 2, 3 and hide them for a second. And there we can see what we did. This goes a little bit too high in my case. And here I can go down a little bit more. So I just undo my height step, select this geometry, and maybe at this point down a little bit there. And I could select everything and then G and Z, move it, tick down. It's close actually to that area. Or close to the bottom. As you can see, there's a small gap. Yeah, see, there it is. So we very quickly prototyped a nice detail too. We want to make sure this object does not show up in our rendering. So inside the outliner, I will select, is this the cube? Yeah, so this should not show up in the rendering. But what I want to do now is this one I will parent to my pad. Control P. So when I rotate my pad, say like this, whoops, then this cut piece moves with it. And now I can hide it, and every time when I move this, you see it follows it. Pretty good. Last thing left is make sure that my bolts are correct. So move down, and there I will make it touch this area. And nope, this is a tick too low. And I select this edge, Shift S, cursor to select it. Very good. Local and 3D cursor. Very nice. Now you see this is the X direction. So R and X. I make sure that they just sit on each other. Okay, very good. So as you see, that's a really nice quick way how to create a more interesting geometry part. So when we show more details, it's not too bland. You don't want to put too much work into these props because they're not necessarily the focus of the rendering, but at the same time, you don't want decorative or additional elements just look like a cube and cylinder, because then that looks like you just didn't do any thinking.